Your soulmate is hiding something from you. Here's the message you need to hear today. My beloved child, before your next heartbeat settles, listen with complete attention, because not every hidden truth is meant to stay hidden forever, and today, something that has remained locked behind silence is beginning to reveal itself. This is not a coincidence. Out of countless voices, yours arrived here for a reason. Stay a little longer, because the message waiting ahead may explain emotions you've been unable to put into words. What if the answer you've been searching for has been quietly following you all along? What if someone has been protecting a truth, not because they wished to deceive you, but because they feared what would happen once you finally understood it? There is a strange kind of silence that speaks louder than endless conversations. Your soulmate has been carrying that silence. Every time they thought about reaching out, another wave of uncertainty appeared before them. Not because their feelings disappeared, quite the opposite. Their emotions became so real that they no longer trusted themselves to express them correctly. Imagine standing at the edge of a bridge, knowing the other side holds everything you've wished for, yet fearing that one wrong step could make the entire bridge disappear. That is where their heart has been standing. You may have mistaken their distance for indifference. You may have believed their quiet moments meant they were forgetting you. But look deeper. Sometimes the loudest love arrives wearing the disguise of patience. Some souls don't run away when they feel deeply, they become careful. They observe. They wait. They question whether destiny is preparing the perfect moment instead of the fastest one. Pause for just a second. Ask yourself this. Why did this message appear in your life today and not yesterday? Why now? Because every meaningful journey reaches a moment when confusion can no longer lead the way. Today's message is not about guessing what someone else feels. It is about recognizing that unseen chapters are already being written behind the curtain. Even when your eyes cannot witness them, life continues arranging conversations, lessons, and opportunities that have your name quietly attached to them. Your soulmate is hiding something. But it is not the kind of secret that destroys hope. It is the kind that grows stronger every single day until it can no longer remain hidden. They have been collecting courage piece by piece, almost like someone building a lighthouse during a storm. Every memory of you became another stone. Every unanswered question became another light. Every moment of uncertainty taught them something they could never have learned through comfort alone. Don't rush past this part, because the next realization changes everything. The hidden truth is not only about them. It is also about you. While you've been wondering whether you're enough, you've been quietly transforming into someone capable of receiving the very future you've been asking for. Growth often happens so gradually that we fail to notice it. Yet one ordinary morning becomes extraordinary because we suddenly realize we've become the person we once prayed to become. Perhaps you felt unusual signs lately, a familiar thought appearing without explanation, a memory returning unexpectedly, a sense that something significant is approaching even though nothing around you has visibly changed. Those moments are easy to dismiss. Most people call them coincidence. But what if they're simply reminders that life speaks softly before it speaks loudly? Your soulmate has been protecting a message they haven't found the perfect words to deliver. They replay it in their mind more often than you realize. Not because they doubt its importance, but because they want every sentence to carry honesty instead of haste. They know that certain conversations have the power to change everything forever. And once spoken, they cannot be taken back. Here's something very few people understand. Destiny rarely moves in straight lines. It prefers unexpected paths. The delays that frustrate us often become the very reason future moments feel unforgettable. If every answer arrived immediately, would we ever recognize its true value? Sometimes waiting doesn't weaken the story, it gives it meaning. Stay with this message until the very end of this journey, because today's revelation is only opening the first door. Behind it are answers that connect pieces you've never thought belonged together. One hidden conversation. One unexpected realization. One decision quietly forming inside another heart. All of it is moving toward a moment that neither of you can fully see yet. And before this chapter closes, remember this carefully. Never assume silence means nothing is happening. The deepest transformations are almost always invisible before they become undeniable. While the world celebrates what it can see, destiny often completes its greatest work where no one is looking. So breathe in this moment. Keep your heart open. The message your soulmate has been hiding is closer to being revealed than it has ever been before, and what comes next may completely change the way you understand every quiet moment that came before. A quiet shift is happening right now, can you feel it? Not around you, but beneath everything you thought you understood. Remain here for a little longer, because this is where hidden pieces begin connecting. The message that has been waiting in silence is no longer standing still. It is moving toward you, one unseen step at a time. Your soulmate has replayed one particular conversation in their mind more times than you could ever imagine. Every version ended differently. In one, they finally revealed everything they had been protecting. In another, they stayed silent, afraid that the timing would steal the meaning of their words. It wasn't uncertainty about you that kept them quiet. It was uncertainty about whether life had prepared both of you for what those words would awaken. There is something they never expected to discover. The more they tried to hide their feelings, the stronger those feelings became. They believed time would soften the connection, but time did the opposite. It removed distractions. It cleared away temporary emotions. What remained was something steady, something impossible to ignore. That realization surprised even them. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever searched everywhere for something, only to realize it had been close to you the entire time? Hearts often work the same way. Sometimes people travel through confusion only to return to the truth they carried from the beginning. That is the journey your soulmate has been walking. But here is where today's message becomes even more meaningful. The secret they have been carrying is not simply an emotion. It is a decision slowly taking shape. A decision built from reflection instead of impulse. Every challenge they experienced became another reason to understand what truly matters. They stopped chasing temporary excitement and began searching for something real, something lasting, something that could survive every season life might bring. Before you continue, remember this thought: the greatest turning points rarely announce themselves with noise. They arrive quietly. They change one thought, then one choice, then an entire future. What if you are standing much closer to that turning point than you realize? There were nights when your soulmate almost reached out. Their hand paused. Their heart raced. Then they whispered to themselves, "Not yet, let everything become clear first." That wasn't fear of rejection. It was respect for the importance of what they wished to say. Some messages deserve patience because they are meant to become unforgettable. Meanwhile, something unexpected has been happening inside you as well. Every lesson you've faced has quietly strengthened your perspective. Without noticing it, you've become more understanding, more resilient, more capable of recognizing genuine intentions instead of empty promises. The version of you listening today is not the same version that began this journey. What if that change was necessary? What if both paths had to grow separately before they could truly recognize each other? Questions like these often appear before life reveals its biggest answers. Many people believe destiny only works through dramatic moments. But sometimes destiny whispers through ordinary days. A random memory. A familiar dream. A feeling that refuses to disappear. Those gentle moments are often the first signs that invisible chapters are preparing to become visible. If this message resonates with you, consider sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Someone else may read your words and find the encouragement they needed today. And if these messages continue bringing clarity to your journey, subscribing simply ensures you won't miss what unfolds in the chapters ahead. Now listen carefully, because the next part changes the direction of everything. The hidden message your soulmate has been protecting was never meant to remain hidden forever. Every passing day brings them closer to the moment when silence no longer feels stronger than honesty. That moment is approaching, not because the world demands it, but because their own heart can no longer pretend the truth doesn't exist. So don't rush ahead. Stay until the next chapter. The pieces you've collected so far are only the beginning. Soon, you'll discover why every delay, every unanswered question, and every unexpected pause has been leading toward one remarkable revelation that neither of you could have understood until now. A single unseen moment can rewrite an entire story, and that moment may already be closer than you think. Don't rush past these words. The chapter you're about to hear carries the missing piece that has been quietly waiting behind everything you've experienced so far. Keep listening, because what seemed like silence is about to reveal its true purpose. Your soulmate has finally realized something that changed the way they see your connection. For so long, they believed they had to protect their emotions until every uncertainty disappeared. But recently, a simple truth began echoing inside them: waiting forever is not the same as waiting wisely. That thought stayed with them. It followed them through ordinary days and quiet evenings until they could no longer ignore it. Here's what they have been hiding. They have been imagining a future where honesty comes before fear. Not because everything is perfect, but because they now understand that meaningful connections are built through courage, not certainty. Every memory of you has become a reminder that some opportunities only appear once, and those who hesitate forever often spend years wondering what might have been. Pause here for just a moment. Have you noticed how life sometimes removes distractions before revealing direction? Doors close. Plans change. Unexpected delays appear. At first, everything feels confusing. Then, one day, you suddenly realize those detours weren't blocking your path, they were shaping it. That is exactly what has been happening behind the scenes. While you've been questioning the meaning of certain moments, your soulmate has been connecting those same moments into a completely different picture. They no longer see coincidence. They see preparation. Every unexpected encounter, every meaningful memory, every lesson learned has become part of a story that feels far bigger than either of you imagined. And there is one thought they have never spoken aloud. They believe you've changed them in ways they cannot fully explain. Not through grand gestures. Not through constant conversations. But through your quiet influence. Simply knowing you exist has encouraged them to become more patient, more thoughtful, and more intentional about the future they wish to create. They stopped measuring life by temporary victories and started measuring it by lasting purpose. That transformation surprised even them. Stay with me a little longer. Because the next realization may become the one you remember most. Sometimes we expect destiny to arrive like a storm, loud enough for everyone to notice. Yet the greatest moments often arrive like sunrise, slowly, gently, until suddenly the entire horizon is filled with light. No single second announces the change, yet everything is different. That is where your story now stands. The message your soulmate has been hiding is no longer protected by uncertainty. It is being guided by readiness. Each passing day brings them closer to expressing what has lived inside their heart for so long. They understand now that truth grows heavier the longer it remains unspoken, while honesty creates freedom the moment it is shared. Imagine opening a book and discovering that every chapter you thought was random had actually been connected from the very beginning. Every page suddenly makes sense. Every unanswered question finds its place. That is the feeling waiting just beyond this season. Before this chapter ends, remember one final thought. Never mistake a quiet season for an empty one. The deepest changes often happen where no applause can be heard. While the world celebrates visible progress, life is preparing invisible breakthroughs that reveal themselves only when the timing is complete. Carry that thought with you today. The hidden message has not disappeared. It has been growing stronger with every passing moment, and the distance between silence and revelation is becoming smaller than ever before. The next chapter will uncover why one unexpected decision, one honest conversation, and one unforgettable moment could become the turning point that changes the entire meaning of your journey. Stay with this story, because the biggest revelation has been saved for what comes next. A new chapter is opening. And this is the one where silence finally begins to lose its power. If you've stayed with this journey until now, then trust your heart for just a little longer. The story has been leading here from the very first word. Every hidden emotion, every unanswered question, every quiet pause has been preparing this moment. And what happens next is not about chance, it is about clarity. Your soulmate has reached a point where pretending everything is ordinary no longer feels possible. They wake up with the same thought returning. They carry it through their day. They try to distract themselves with routines, conversations, and responsibilities, yet one feeling always finds its way back. It isn't confusion anymore. It isn't uncertainty. It is recognition. They finally recognize what their heart has been trying to tell them all along. For a long time, they believed the safest path was to remain silent until life became perfect. But perfection never arrived. Instead, they discovered something far more valuable. They realized that meaningful connections are never built on perfect timing, they are built on genuine truth. That realization changed everything. Now imagine this. A letter has been sitting on a table for weeks. Every day, someone walks past it. Every day, they almost open it. But something whispers, tomorrow. Then one morning, without any dramatic reason, they simply reach out, unfold the paper, and discover that every answer they needed had been waiting there all along. That letter represents the truth your soulmate has been carrying. Not hidden because they wanted distance. Hidden because they wanted their words to carry the weight they deserved. And here's the remarkable part. The closer they move toward honesty, the calmer they become. Fear no longer controls the story. Hope has quietly taken its place. They no longer imagine every possible outcome. Instead, they imagine what becomes possible when two hearts stop letting uncertainty speak louder than authenticity. Stay until the final moments of this chapter, because another layer is about to unfold. You may have wondered why certain events unfolded exactly the way they did. Why conversations ended too soon. Why opportunities seemed delayed. Why life kept asking for patience when your heart wanted certainty. The answer is becoming visible now. Every delay gave both of you time to grow into people capable of understanding each other more deeply. If everything had happened earlier, important lessons might have been missed. But today, those lessons have become quiet strengths neither of you even noticed you were building. Sometimes destiny doesn't change the destination. It changes the travelers before they arrive. If these messages have brought peace, hope, or a fresh perspective into your day, consider sharing this journey with someone who may need it too. And if you'd like to continue walking through these unfolding chapters together, subscribing simply keeps the next message within reach whenever it arrives. Now listen closely. Your soulmate has stopped asking, "What if this doesn't work?" Instead, they have started asking, "What if this is the very opportunity I've been preparing for?" That single change in perspective has created a powerful shift inside them. The walls they once built out of caution are beginning to transform into bridges built with trust. The questions that once kept them awake are slowly being replaced by quiet confidence. Not because every mystery has been solved, but because they finally understand that some answers only appear after we choose to move forward. Before we leave this chapter, remember this carefully. The greatest revelations rarely arrive with loud announcements. They enter gently, changing your understanding one thought at a time until you suddenly realize your entire story looks different than it did before. The hidden message is no longer just a secret. It has become a promise waiting for the right moment to be spoken. And in the next chapter, you'll discover why one simple choice, made when neither of you expected it, could unlock the beginning of a future that has been quietly finding its way toward you all along. Stay with the journey, because the most unforgettable revelation is still waiting just ahead.